So formal. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming today. This is the Social Work Department's May 2023 graduation day. Welcome, graduating class of 2023. My name is Brett Weber. I have the honor of being the chair of the University of North Dakota's Social Work Department. Graduates, welcome and congratulations. You've worked very hard to be here today. Friends and family of these graduates, welcome and congratulations to you also. Today is one of celebration for you as well. Thank you for supporting these graduates. And let me ask if you would do something. If the graduates in the room would stand, and those online, if you're able to do so in some form, if you would stand for me, please. Yes. Turn around and catch the eye of those folks who have helped you come to this day, or if they're not here today, please take a moment to remember all who have been a part of your journey. Yes, flash some peace signs, victory signs, whatever you want there. Go ahead and be seated. Thanks. While we encourage graduates, their families, and faculty to attend the university graduation ceremony that will be held tomorrow, this department ceremony is intended to be less formal, more intimate. Please feel free to shout out celebrations for your graduates, and we promise to make lots of time and room for picture taking. This ceremony is first and foremost for the graduates and for you. So please, yes. One more time, lots of applause. Am I just going to lisp in the microphone the whole time? Is that the way it's? Maybe I'm the only one hearing that. Let's go. Accordingly, please, there's treats at the back. If you want to feel free to get up at any time. If there are young ones who need to move about, that's fine. Everyone, please just make yourselves as comfortable as you can for a ceremony of this start. The music starts us off and it feels so formal, but I'm hoping we can settle that down a bit. And with that noted, I don't want to take too much longer, but I have some notes of appreciation. First, Stephanie. You're a steadfast planner and supporter of these events and the whole program. Only I know how much you do behind the scenes. Thanks for everything you do. Yes. And Lori, where is Lori at? Hi, Lori. You're running around. Thanks for bringing this all together. You've been with the department for less than 2 months, but you already feel like part of the social work department family. Welcome on board. Thanks. Nice to see you here today. And then I'd also like to thank someone who's not here. Vahafu Sawaga is not with us in person because I believe he's at his daughter's graduation ceremony today. So congratulations and warm wishes to him. In his stead, Tim Sargent and his team, thanks for being here. The EIT folks have been helping us with these graduation ceremonies for a decade or longer now. The social work department is one of the few on campus that runs programs year-round, which means we have graduation ceremonies at the end of every semester. Va and all the IT staff have been great supporters of the social work department, so thank you also. And yeah, thanks. And we have people online now, is that true? Are we joined? Yes, okay, great. I'm not seeing them, but they can see us. Dear faculty, both for those of you who are in the room, and we have some folks joining us online. As I mentioned, ours is a year-round program, which means that you have not just the 6 graduation ceremonies that all other faculty are invited to, but you also have these additional 6 departmental ceremonies for a total of no fewer than 12 celebrations a year. That's a lot of celebrating. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, taking the time from your grading and preparations for summer semester. Many of you will start teaching summer semester next week. Some of you, before you've even turned in spring grades, you'll be teaching already. So thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do for our students, the profession, the University of North Dakota, and our state and region. Oh, and thanks for listening to me twice each graduation day as well. Recently, I attended an orientation for mostly new students who are beginning their program next week, the next step in their journey as lifelong learners. Today, we're gathered to celebrate the conclusion of studies for this group of scholars and social workers. It's a very emotional experience to welcome one group and to celebrate the achievements of another. And doing so blurs what we tend to think of as beginnings and endings. While today is a closing celebration of sorts, let's recognize it also as a beginning, an opening of the next stage in the professional careers of today's graduates who are going to go forward and engage the critically important work of supporting and improving the lives and well-being of individuals, families, communities, and even larger systems. The College of Nursing and Professional Disciplines, the college home of social work here at UND, is where professionals are trained to provide comfort to people across North Dakota when they are at their most vulnerable and in times of need. Social work is proud to be a member of the College of Nursing and Professional Disciplines. Today, you are both graduates and our new colleagues. Congratulations for all your hard work to get you to this point, and thank you for taking on this critically important work of our profession, social work. I have one more note of appreciation. Thank you, Dean Sjogren, for your support of our department and students. And if you will, I'd like to invite you to the podium if you wouldn't mind saying a few words.
Hello, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you here today. As Dr. Weber said, my name is Meredy Sjogren, and I have the privilege of serving as the dean of this college. Today is an opportunity to celebrate our social work graduates who have worked so hard to complete your degrees. The best part of being a part of our college is learning about the very different professions that we have. I personally want to let you know that I think you are wonderful. I have practiced as a certified nurse midwife for over 23 years, and I have reached out to my social work colleagues for guidance more times than I can count. You are important, your skill set is invaluable, and I am so thankful that you are on our interprofessional teams. Today, I would like to challenge you to 5 things as you begin your professional journey. And the first is to take the opportunities, all of the opportunities that come your way. Now, you have to remember that not every opportunity is the equivalent of easy. Accept the challenges that come alongside those opportunities. Not all are going to turn out to be great, but many are going to be incredible. Social work is full of opportunities to shift directions and try new things, advance your skills, and expand your world. Listen as you learn. Social work leaders cannot effectively initiate change without listening and being receptive to others' feedback and their suggestions. When we don't consider and appreciate the attributes and offerings of others, we simply add to or create more barriers in healthcare. Third, please remember that no problem, no healthcare challenge can be understood or improved in isolation. Communicate with each other, share your experiences, and ask questions. And don't forget about your instructors. Besides the fact that they love to hear how you are doing, they can, and often do, continue to help our students well beyond graduation. Number 4, be humble. Be proud of your accomplishments, but stay humble. Along with your new title comes responsibility and an opportunity to lead by example. Everyone in healthcare has an important role, and we must work together with our colleagues to improve health outcomes. We are a team, and even when you are leading that team, you are still part of that team. And finally, my last challenge is to stay connected. Stay connected to the Department of Social Work, to our college, and to the university. We are so proud to have you as part of our alumni family. Just this week, there was a CNPD social media post on Facebook asking our college alumni to tell us their graduation year. Please go home and add your comments to that post and identify your 2023 graduation year. Follow us and help support our future social workers. You are now mentors, you are examples, and you are an inspiration to all who will follow you. Please let me be among the first to congratulate you as you begin your professional career. I am so excited for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Sjogren. With that, I'd like to next introduce our program directors. Start with, I already mentioned her. Stephanie, would you stand? Professor Homestad is our online education director, and so much more. Dr. Isaac Hikari, who I believe is joining us online, our MSW program director. Many of you will be working with him either this fall or sometime very soon in the future, we hope. Professor Reeves, if you would stand also, our field program director. Every student in our undergraduate, graduate programs gets to work with Professor Reeves at some point. And next, I'd like to introduce our undergraduate program director. You all know her, Professor Barb Kitko. And I will hand things over to Professor Kitko with that. Thank you.
I have too many items in my hand here. All right. Well, first off, I want to welcome everybody and congratulate our soon-to-be graduates. My name is Barb Kitko, and I have the honor of being the undergraduate program director. As faculty, we often talk about pinning and commencement as our faculty payday. It's a time when we get to celebrate right along with you all of your accomplishments. The mission of our department is to provide students with knowledge, values, and skills for practice, which you have all completed. And so I wanted to make sure and talk a little bit about how noble the social work profession is and what a pleasure it is to work in this field. You are all entering this field at a really exciting time. Social work is growing. We are the largest providers of mental health services, not just at the graduate level, but also at the bachelor's level. And so keeping that in mind, you're entering this profession at a really exciting and challenging time. So we're going to kick off our speakers. I would like to welcome our faculty speaker, Leah Saga-Lizer, who will come up and share some of her wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you, Barb, and thank you to Dr. Weber, our chair, and Dean Sjogren. I'm excited that I can be here today. It is hard for me to fathom that I completed my undergraduate degree 19 years ago here at UND. It does not seem like it was that long ago, but yet sometimes it seems like it was decades ago. It's once you get out into practice, how quickly things move, how fast just things change, and you grow into being a colleague of one of us. Coming from the perspective of a student into a colleague, and it's very rewarding. It's very much an incredible honor for me to be standing here with you as you embark on your careers. And I want to congratulate you on your accomplishments. And as the previous speakers have said, I want to really encourage you to, I hope you will remember and thank your family and your friends that have supported you along the way. It's unlikely that you got here entirely on your own. Largely, entering social work comes after a long period of contemplation, other experiences working in human services, and so it is highly rewarding when you are on the other side of those experiences. And I want you to be very proud of your achievements that we're celebrating today, and also be cognizant of the lifelong friendships, connections, and skills that you have built as a student amongst your classmates and with the faculty as well. As you enter the field of social work, it's important to remember that your studies have prepared you to enter the world with a critical eye and a thoughtfulness about our fellow humans. In contemporary times, it seems as though we have been bombarded by reports of police violence, social unrest, and unethical behavior among those who hold positions of power and responsibility. As social workers, we have an obligation to do what is right, moral, and ethical to give our efforts for society. Please remember the importance of these values. It is important as you go out into the work world, or whatever your next step is, that you do not forget those who have impacted, inspired, and mentored you. As you move forward after graduation with your lives and careers, I hope that you will all remember your time here in the social work program. As Dean Sjogren pointed out, it is important to keep in touch with your professors, advisors, the staff, friends, and classmates that you have studied alongside. These and other people are who will help you now and in the future. I have come to appreciate that these relationships are very important and greatly matter. I also want to thank the faculty and our agency supervisors whose passion and commitment to our students is a source of inspiration to me, and I hope has been to you. The skills that you've developed in your classes and field agencies will serve you well regardless of what direction your career takes. Hopefully, the education and experiences have taught you to think in a critical way that looks at all of the moving parts and takes into consideration the whole system. Social workers work in so many different places and settings: schools, hospitals, mental health practices, veteran centers, child welfare agencies, the criminal justice system, state, federal, and local governments, and that's just to name a few. Although there are many kinds of social work, members of the profession all share common principles: dedication to seeking equality and social justice for all communities and helping people achieve their potential. Each day, social workers break barriers in innovative ways that help innumerable people. The power of social workers who lobby in politics and communities to improve living conditions for all has great value. Social work graduates, we need you now more than ever. You have earned your degree during difficult and historic times requiring focus, tenacity, and determination. Your academic efforts and success have prepared you to become skilled and effective social workers, prepared to face the challenges of our field. Social work can be difficult to understand because the profession is so vast. Our profession is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and condemns discrimination in all forms of oppression. The forces of discrimination, of inequalities, of immobility, of exclusion, racism, sexism, ignorance, these forces are strong. Your intellectual and collective strength is so important right now. You have the moral power of righteousness, the power of social justice, the power of fact-based analysis, and the power of we're in this togetherness. Your power and knowledge have given those in need a chance to realize their potential. Your power tears barriers down, and your power unites. Of course, I am not saying that you don't need to ever admit when you're wrong or make a mistake. That happens to everyone. What I'm saying is, and I hope more importantly, my fellow professors and teachings you've absorbed from them, empower you not to be intimidated by those that try to impede you from helping the people that you serve. Have confidence in your own strength, your teaching and values, and bring this out to the field with you. I want to end by congratulating all the graduates and thanking again those in attendance today. Thank you for the privilege of speaking. Congratulations on your commencement and dedication to fighting for social justice and creating a better world.
Thank you, Professor Saga. All right. Our student speakers are chosen by their class peers, and so I would like to welcome our first student speaker, who is from campus, Ryan Blacksmith, to come up and share.
Hi, everybody. It is an honor to stand up here today as a graduate of the Social Work Department and speak at this momentous occasion. Today is marking the end of one journey for us all and the beginning of a new one. We have reached a marvelous stepping stone for our future in the field of social work. As social work graduates, we are about to embark on a path of great service, advocacy, and social justice. Social work is a noble profession that we have all grown to love and understand, and it requires an incredible commitment to the well-being of others, a passion for social justice, and willingness to put ourselves in difficult situations. I can say with confidence we all have courage, empathy, and resilience to be able to work in such a demanding field. The experience at UND and in the social work field has been incredible. I know there are many of us who did not start out our college experience in social work, but we are so lucky to have found our passion here. I've heard from many fellow graduates about how we started with a different major, like nursing, but we realized that was not quite the path we wanted. Many of us may have started our college careers not knowing what social work was truly about, but years of education have changed our perspectives on the profession. I know it is cliche to say that we have all found our devotion to social work through wanting to help people, but that is what I see in this group. We have all grown so much together, and our love for helping people has only expanded. There were many incredible learning experiences at UND, from the simulation labs working with other disciplines, working in our first internship, researching different agencies in our community, and having conversations with many social workers around us. The faculty and staff in the program have all been incredible. There are so many unbelievable social workers at UND, and it is amazing that we have had the opportunity to gain experience from them. UND has shaped us to become the new era of social workers, and we will do so honorably. We have all had difficult days, long nights, many major assignments, research projects, tons of papers, and countless exams and quizzes. But this moment right now has made it all worth it. As we continue into the future, whether that is furthering our education or jumping right into the workforce, we must remember what we are doing and why we are doing it. We are always striving to create an inclusive and welcoming space where everyone feels valued and respected. We will be everywhere, from schools to hospitals, mental health clinics, child welfare agencies, human service centers, veterans clinics, nursing homes, correctional facilities, and so many other settings where we are making a difference every day in the lives of everyone that we work with. It is important that we always stay true to our values as we grow as social workers. This is just the beginning for us, and we are already making a difference in this community. I know we will always have each other, the professors, advisors, and so many others to look up to and reach out to whenever necessary. This place has shaped all of us, and it is somewhere we will always hold close. Finally, let us all remember that social work is not just a job, but a calling. We have chosen this path because we believe in the power of human connection and making a positive change in every way. We can make a real difference in this world. I want to say thank you again for the opportunity to speak today, and I'm so proud of this graduating class and what we have accomplished the last few years. Let's continue to grow as social workers and make amazing impacts in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Our online student speaker is Melissa Anderson. I'd like to invite her to come up and speak now.
Hello. First off, I'd like to thank my husband and my children for giving me an abundance of grace over the last few years. I never imagined I would be going to college in my 40s, especially with being the mom of 11 children. They've made a lot of sacrifices over the years for me to pursue my education. I also want to thank our amazing faculty for believing in us, building our confidence, and pushing us to become the best versions of ourselves. We couldn't have made it this far without your support. Next, I would like to thank my fellow peers for believing that I was fit to stand up here and speak to you all today. My first instinct when Jennifer called to tell me that I was the chosen one was to run away and say no. But here I am, so thank you for believing in me. So a true story though, I went to college like 17 years ago, fresh out of high school, and it was a disaster. My first few semesters were not anything I'm proud of, so, excuse me. So I called it quits after 2 semesters. Throughout the next 2 decades, I thought about going back and pursuing a degree, but ultimately I couldn't get past the fact that I would have to take that required speech class, and I'm deathly afraid of public speaking. So here I am. I decided that I couldn't let you guys down, and I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone, and I've continued to do so throughout my career here at UND. That comfort zone, you guys, it's a good place. It's all cozy, warm, and it's safe. But what do we learn there? We learn to settle, to take the easy road. In our comfort zone, we learn to simply make do and not make waves. That's not who we are. That is not what we signed up for when we decided to become social workers. Growth happens when we step outside of that comfort zone. Sure, it's scary and uncomfortable, but that's where real changes happen. At some point in your journey inside each of you, a spark ignited. That spark began burning brighter and brighter, fueling a passion for change, pushing you to become a voice for those who cannot speak, and demanding that you stand up for the oppressed. My own spark ignited during my time serving as a foster parent. Over the last 11 years, I've worked alongside some amazing social workers and some social workers that had a bit of room for improvement. I've seen huge gaps in services offered in our communities. I've witnessed expected outcomes and unexpected outcomes. Some I still have trouble wrapping my head around. All of those experiences fueled my passion to go beyond foster parenting. I set a new goal of obtaining my degree and becoming a social worker so that I can be more effective in advocacy and leadership. This journey has not been easy by any means. I've told myself over and over that I can do hard things. I've pushed myself through my own mental barriers and struggled with balancing my family and my education. My husband and older kids have taken on so many mom duties for me as I've been stepping away to take classes and to finish homework. I've watched each of you do these hard things too. There's been illnesses, marriages, babies, big moves, job changes, surgeries, and difficult field experiences. So many life-changing events, yet you have persevered through it all. And here we are today. I have learned so much from each and every one of you over the last few years. You have so much to offer the world, and I'm excited to see what you accomplish. My hope for each one of you as you embark on your professional journey as a social worker is that you always hold on to that spark that first ignited your passion for helping. Never forget that you are a change maker and a difference maker. You may feel your flame flickering at times, and when it does, I hope that you will reach out to one of your peers for support and encouragement. Look around you. We are your people. We must remind each other to speak up, stand firm, and stay the course. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Continue to step outside your comfort zone. Be brave, be fierce. Embrace growth and seek out more knowledge. Congratulations, graduates. We've made it. Thank you.
Melissa, thank you for stepping outside your comfort zone. There's a saying that says, do something that scares you every day. You get to check that off today. All right, so we are going to move on to the pinning ceremony. I want to just tell you a little bit about the pinning ceremony is in honor of the late Dr. Myrna Haga, who was a social work educator here at UND for over 40 years. I and many of my colleagues who went to school here had the pleasure of learning from her, and she was quite an amazing human being. She had a real robust love for undergraduate social work students, and this ceremony is in honor of her. All right, I want to remind people, Professor Weber had talked about this is informal, so when your graduate comes up, I'm going to tell you a little bit how the next part of the ceremony is going to be. When your graduate comes up, we're going to have you start on this side. You'll receive your pin and a folder, and then the faculty will be on the other side congratulating you as you walk off the stage. Parents, loved ones, feel free to come on up. We'll pause. This is your moment, and we want people who love you to capture that. So, all right, let's see what I'm going to announce each student's name along with their research topic title and their field agency that they were placed at this past semester. So I'm going to have the faculty come up. There are a number of faculty who are joining us online who were unable to join us. So if you're here in person and your advisor's online, somebody else will come up and give you your pin and brochure, or pin and folder. Okay. Yes, thank you. If you are joining us online, please turn on your camera when your name is announced, and we will virtually pin you. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Alyssa Alberts, advisor is Jenny Schlinger. Jenny's joining us online. Her research topic is mass incarceration and failed rehabilitation, and she was placed at MHA Recovery Services. All right, Melissa Anderson, her advisor is Yiping Shea. Her research topic title was Pregnancy and Incarceration. She was placed at Heart River Correctional Center. Grayson Anderson is our next student. Her advisor is Junyoung Kim. Research title was Effects of Music Therapy on People with Disabilities. She was at North Dakota Division of Voc Rehab. Yes, yes. All right, congratulations. Emily Bergman is our next student. Isaac Kakari is her advisor. He's joining us online. Angie Muse will be pinning her in person. Her topic was lifelong consequences of toxic stress in children, and she was at NDSU Extension. Ryan Blacksmith is our next graduate. Angie Muse is her advisor. Her topic was Veterans and Mental Health, and she was at Polk County Veterans Services. Molly Butcher is our next student. Junyoung Kim is her advisor. Topic was reducing readmission rates for people with congestive heart failure, and she was at Alina Health Systems. Alexandria Campbell is our next student. Angie Muse is her advisor. Her topic was COVID-19 and the ripple effects with nursing facilities, and she was at Sanford Health. Molly Christensen is our next student. Ken Flanagan is her advisor. The benefits of harm reduction is her research topic, and she was at Spectra Health. Ken, do you want to turn it? Josephine Dancing Bull is our next student. Stephanie Homestead is her advisor. Reunification in Indian country was her topic, and she was at 3 affiliated tribes social services. She's joining us online. Mandy Davis is our next student. Stephanie Homestead is her advisor. Filing 960 reports, understanding when to file, and she was at Turtle Mountain Tribal Social Services. Amanda Idy is, I believe, joining us online. Yiping Shea is her advisor. Topic was working homeless, the unseen need in plain sight, and she was at Southeastern North Dakota Community Action Agency. Marissa Forshee is the next student. Jennifer Schlinger is her advisor. She's joining us online. Her research topic is ACEs, and she was, I'm sorry. I said Amanda, didn't I? Marissa Forshee. Jenny Schlinger's her advisor, ACEs, and she was at Sanford, Thief River Falls, and I get the pleasure of pinning her. Okay, McAllister Gale is our next student. I am her advisor. Her topic was long-term impact on treatment foster care, and she was at Grand Forks County Social Services. All right. Addie Hansen is our next student. Yiping Shea is her advisor. She's joining us online. Indian Child Welfare Act was her topic, and she was at Buffalo Ridge's Human Services. Emily Heffernan is our next student. Angie Muse is her advisor. Postpartum depression and psychosis was her topic, and she was at Kitson Healthcare. Mariah Hendrickson is our next student. Craig Burns is her advisor. Stigma impacting psychiatric care was her topic, and she was at Prairie St. John's. Cassidy Hope is our next student. June Young Kim is her advisor. Her topic was library social work, and she was at Grand Forks Public Library. Sophia Francesca Campy is our next student. Angie Muse is her advisor. Her topic was supporting first-generation low-income students for academic success, and she was at UND TRIO program. Kylie Host Vermas, our next student. June Young Kim is her advisor. Barriers to housing is her topic, and community options is her placement. Shelby Laddiser is our next student. I am her advisor. Her topic was historical trauma of Native American boarding schools, and she was at Turtle Mountain Child Welfare and Family Services. Brittany Lieberg is our next student. Angie Muse is her advisor. Topic was connecting veterans to resources, and she was at Red River Valley Community Action. Marissa Manning is our next student. She will be pinned by, her advisor is Yiping Shea, and Lonnie Moen will pin her. Her topic was integrating animal-assisted therapy in school settings. She was at Maple Valley Public Schools. Madeline Mills is our next student. Her advisor is Karen Lee Barkdahl. Professor Weber will be pinning her. Her topic was developmental impact of divorce on young children. She was at the YMCA Family Center.
I came all the way from Virginia for this. This is my girl.
Kristen Pooley is our next student. Jenny Schlinger is her advisor. Her topic was interdisciplinary decision-making in pharmacology in a rehabilitation and long-term care setting, and her placement was Valley View Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Ashley Stanzik is our next student. Karen Lee Barkdahl is her advisor. Dr. Weber will pin her. Her research topic was utilizing emotional freedom techniques in social work practice, and she was at Stable Days Youth Ranch. Samantha Stern is our next student. Shanna Urban is her advisor. I get the pleasure of pinning her. Her topic was impact of COVID-19 on low-income families, and she was at United Way of Grand Forks. Elena Stingle is joining us online. Shanna Urban is her advisor. Her research topic was Medicare funding in Florida, and she was at a venture at the Bay. Congratulations. Desiree Tubert, Yiping Shea is her advisor. Her research topic was technology helping in healthcare settings, and she was at Oak Hills Living Center. Alexia Thompson I am her advisor. Her research topic was Bring Parents Back to School, the Role of Parent Engagement in Education. She was at St. Michael's Catholic School. Jessica Trinier is our next student. Shanna Urban is her advisor. Her topic was the homeless crisis. She was at West Central Human Service Center. Caitlin Vodel is our next student. Shanna Urban is her advisor. I'm going to have Stephanie Homestead Pinner. Her topic is Restorative Justice Program Outcomes. Grand Forks County Juvenile Court was where she was placed at.
All good, thank you.
Last but not least, our last student is Charles Widner. Leah Saga-Leiser was his advisor, Restorative Justice Program. What? No, I'm changing titles here. Integrating Youth Suicide Prevention into the Digital Frontier. And he was placed at Mental Health Minnesota. All right, I'm going to invite the faculty to sit down. I have a couple words, and then I'll invite Professor Weber to give some parting comments. I have just a couple things that I want to leave our students with. You're leaving UND with a toolbox, and you've earned it. All those late nights and papers and such is called an education. In this profession, we serve clients often in their darkest moments. Keep in mind what an honor and a privilege this is. I'd like to share one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Brene Brown, who is a social science researcher with a PhD in social work. Integrity is choosing courage over comfort, choosing what is right over what is fun, fast, and easy, and choosing to practice our values rather than simply professing them. What a tall order you have ahead of yourself. I know you're up for the challenge. It's your time to go out there and be change agents. Welcome to the profession, colleagues, and congratulations on your accomplishment.
Nice job, Professor Kitko. Let's see. One thing that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, we're hoping to see most or all of you tomorrow at the university celebration. I hope that the lines aren't too long if you're sticking around and going out to dinner tonight at Grand Forks restaurants. It's been said a few times already, but you've been students for a while, and it might have seemed like a very long time to you. To us, it seems like a very short period of time that we have this instructor-student relationship. But now we get to have a lifelong relationship as colleagues. I always say that, and I always mean it, but it's also become increasingly apparent to me that while I might think of you as colleagues, there's a tendency for you to continue to think of us as instructors. That's very flattering. We've learned a great deal from you already, and we look forward to getting to work with you and continue to learn from you. With that, you know, these things are a little bit stuffy, but that part is over now. We're going to ask you to stick around for one group photo, and otherwise, I look forward to getting a chance to meet some of your friends and family. Thanks, and congratulations again to our graduates. And where do we want to take the photo? Out on the stairway? Yeah, there's a great photo op just outside here. So please, there's cookies and some beverage in the back. Help yourself, and we'll gather for a photo down on the stairs. Please. Yes, could we? Very good. We'll have the students go first. You want to give us the music one more time? Can we cue that up? We'll go back to being really formal and stiff here and have the music one more time. And online students, could you turn your cameras on so we can get a screenshot of you all together as well? Thanks, Stephanie. Dum, da, da, dum, da, dum. There we go. Everybody listen really carefully. Come on. It was really exciting music. You may be seated. Thanks. Thanks for the music, Megan. I'm going to have you stand up and sit down a whole bunch of times. Also, I said, whatever you want to do, and then I started directing you. And what's that? This way to this way? We'll start over here. We'll give you direction on that. And I'll keep saying, oh, however you want to do it, and then I'll tell you exactly how I want to do it. It'll be just like class. It'll be great. All right, should we start? Let's see. I've got notes here. There's lots of handwriting on the notes, so hang with me. I think I start with live from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and the beautiful campus of the University of North Dakota. It's the Social Work Department's May 2023 graduation. Welcome, class of 2023. Yes. Thanks. As I was going in and out of the hallway, and I mentioned this to some of you, there's a whole bunch of familiar faces that I've known for a few years now, many of you. And of course, I can't remember any of your names because I saw little tiny screens of many of you and with your name underneath it. So I can repeat things that you said in class, but I may not remember your name. But maybe by the end of the ceremony. So graduates, welcome and congratulations. Time to get a little more serious. You have worked hard to get to this day. Friends and family of the graduates, congratulations to you also. We know that there may have been some work in supporting them across this important landmark in their careers. So this is one of those times where I'm going to ask you to stand up again. Go ahead, stand up. And folks online, if you would do your own online version of this, I'm going to ask you to turn around and catch the eye of the people, your friends and family, the others who have helped you get to this moment. Go ahead and turn around and look at people you have here. Yes, do that. Do it again. Look at them for a moment. Yeah. And give them a round of applause. They get to clap for you all the time. And go ahead and sit down now. Thanks. While we encourage graduates, their families, and faculty to attend the university ceremony tomorrow, and we hope that you'll do that, this department ceremony is intended to be less formal, more intimate. So please feel free to shout out celebrations for your graduates, and we promise to make time and room for lots of photographs. If we're moving too quickly and you want a little more time to take a photograph, please just tell us. We can slow things down. Because this ceremony is first and foremost for the graduates and for you. So it's not for us. Let's make this work for you. Please help yourself to the treats at the back. You can do that now if you want. In fact, we paid a little extra for the UND cookies. They're really tasty, and people have been treating them like, oh, those are decorations or something. No, they're good cookies. Help yourself to any of the cookies back there. Indeed, feel free to get up and move around at any time. Young ones, you can run around through the aisles. Feel free to shout out. You're not going to be disrupting anything by speaking up. So make yourselves as comfortable as you can doing something like this. And with that all noted, I don't want to go on too much longer, but I have some comments of appreciation. First, we're going to go through this again, Stephanie, if that's all right. Professor Stephanie Homestead, if you'd stand up. Steadfast planner and supporter. I said earlier, only I know how much you do behind the scenes, but thanks for all that you do. And Lori, hi Lori, you've moved from corner to corner. Lori's only been with us not even 2 months yet, but already an important member of the social work department family. Thanks for your help with today. And then I need to thank Vahuvu Swaga, who's not with us in person. He's celebrating his daughter's graduation today. So instead I get to thank Timothy Sargent and Megan and Tyler for their support today. The IT folks have been helping us with these graduation ceremonies for most of a decade now, maybe longer. Have we been doing this longer than a decade? The social work department is one of the few on campus that runs programs year-round, which means we have graduation ceremonies at the end of every semester. And Va and the IT staff have been great supporters of the social work department. So thanks for being here and for all you do, both on graduation day and every day throughout the semester. And then let me also mention Haley Husbeck. Hello, Haley, from Alumni Foundation. Yes. We're not going to make you say anything today, but August. Yeah, okay, great. We had that discussion. And is Chantel Vasquez with us? Hi, Chantel. Hello. From the Recruiting American Indians into Nursing, thanks for standing, which includes social work and nutrition and dietetics and support for our Native American students. And dear faculty, both those of you who are in the room and those who are online, thanks for being part of this celebration. As I mentioned, ours is a year-round program, which means that you have not just the 6 graduation ceremonies that everybody else gets to go to, you also have 6 a year for the department, 12 opportunities to celebrate graduation every year. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for being here, taking time away from your grading and preparations for summer semester. Many of these folks will start teaching summer semester before they've even turned in their spring grades. There's not a lot of turnaround here. But thanks for all you do for our students, for our profession, the University of North Dakota, and our state and region. And again, thanks for listening to me twice each graduation ceremony. And I haven't mentioned her yet, but Jen Collar. Hello, Jen. Quickly, she's marketing for our college, but feeling like part of the department family as well. Nice to see you, Jen. Great. And it's also worth mentioning at this time, UND's social work program, the MSW program, is the 3rd largest graduate program on campus, and it is also one of the most diverse of all the departments on campus. Recently, I attended an orientation for mostly new students who are beginning their MSW program next week. Remember what that was like? Yeah, the orientation. And today we're gathered to celebrate the conclusion of your studies, which is, I'm kind of trying to be lighthearted here, but as soon as I stop and think about it, these are really emotional days for us, and I'm sure for you and your families as well. And the opportunity to welcome one group in and then celebrate the success of the next suggests that this is a beginning and ending, but I don't know that this is in any way an ending for you. In so many ways, of course, this is a beginning, an opening of the next stage in your professional careers, And I know that you're going to go forward and engage the critically important work of supporting and improving the lives and well-being of individuals, families, communities, and larger systems. The College of Professional Disciplines, the college home of social work here at UND, is where professionals are trained to provide comfort to people across North Dakota, the region, the United States, and Canada. And social work, that service is often to people when they are at their most vulnerable or in times of their greatest need. We are proud to be a member of the College of Nursing and Professional Disciplines. So today you are both graduates and our new colleagues. Congratulations for all your hard work to get to this point, and thank you for taking on this critically important work that you've chosen. I have two more important notes of appreciation. First, thank you, Dean Sjogren, for all of your support for our department and our students. You know, I say that all the time, and I trust you know that I mean that from my heart. If you will, I'd like to invite you to provide your own welcome to our graduates and their friends and families.
Hello. As Dr. Weber said, my name is Meredith Sjogren, and I have the privilege of serving as the dean of this college. It is such a pleasure to be with you here today, and it is an opportunity to celebrate our social work graduates who have worked so hard to successfully complete this next degree in your journey. The best part of being in our college is learning about the different professions. I personally want to let you know that I think you're wonderful. I have practiced as a certified nurse midwife for over 23 years, and I have reached out to my social work colleagues for guidance more times than I can count. You are important, your skill set is invaluable, and I am so thankful that you are part of our interprofessional teams. Today, I would like to challenge you to 5 things as you begin the next step in your professional journey. The first is to remind you to take the opportunities. Every opportunity that comes your way. Opportunities are not equivalent to easy, and accept the challenges that come along with those opportunities. Not all are going to turn out to be great, but many are going to be incredible. Social work is full of opportunities to shift direction, try new things, advance your skills, and expand your world. Listen as you learn. Social work leaders cannot effectively initiate change without listening and being receptive to others' feedback and suggestions. When we don't consider and appreciate the attributes and offerings of others, we simply add to or create more barriers in healthcare. Third, please remember that no problem, no healthcare challenge can be understood or improved in isolation. Communicate with each other, share your experiences, and ask questions. Don't forget about the wonderful faculty that is here with you today. Besides the fact that they always love to hear how you are doing, they can and often do continue to help all of our students beyond graduation. Number 4 is to be humble. Be proud of your accomplishments, but stay humble. Along with the new title you get today in that master's degree, comes along with responsibilities and the opportunity to lead by example. Everyone in healthcare has an important role, and we must together, with our colleagues, work to improve healthcare outcomes. We are a team, and even when you are leading that team, you are still part of that team. And finally, my last challenge. Please stay connected. Stay connected to your Department of Social Work, our college, and the university. We are so proud to have you as part of our alumni family. There was just a College of Nursing and Professional Discipline social media post on Facebook this week that asked all of our college alumni to tell us their graduation year. Please add to your comments, and please add today's date to that of your graduation year to those comments. Continue to follow us and help us support all of the future social workers. You are mentors, you are examples, and you are an inspiration to all who are going to follow you. Please let me be among the first to congratulate you as you begin the next step in your professional career. I am so excited for all that awaits you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Sjogren. A quick little tiny thanks. Stephanie, you were trying to remind me, but I had it. I got it. Thanks. I've got one more introduction I'd like to make before we move on with the main part of the program. On the front of your program, you'll see this is the Don Schmidt MSW hooding ceremony. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a friend of the social work profession across the United States, especially in the realm of child welfare. He's also a great friend of the University of North Dakota, our college, and the Department of Social Work. Let me introduce Don Schmidt, and I hope that he might be willing to also say a few words.
Thanks, Brett, and thanks, Mary Dee, and congratulations to all of you. First, I want to thank and recognize the parents. You have been with your son or daughter all these years through their bachelor's degree, through their master's degree, and now culminating in this wonderful MSW degree. You've supported them, encouraged them, listened to them when times were tough. And so we all want to thank you, the parents, for what you've meant to your son and daughter, and that you're here today to support and recognize this achievement also. I also want to thank the faculty for all your work in encouraging the students, in being with them, to pushing them sometimes, to supporting them when they just weren't sure if this was really the right field for them, and any of those kinds of things. It can be hard, and so we want to thank all of you also. I graduated from here in 1961, the bachelor's degree in social work and a minor in psychology. I worked for a year, and then the state paid my way to go to graduate school. So 59 years ago, I went through a hooding ceremony much like yours today. That was before any of you were born and before most of your parents, if not all, were born. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful career. After I graduated, I worked for the state of North Dakota for 36 and a half years. And I was involved in planning, community organization, administrative kinds of jobs all my career. I was responsible for, at one time or another, a foster care program, parent aid program, daycare, family-based practice, all those kinds of things. The last 12 years, I was fortunate to be the Director of Children and Family Service. In 1984, one of the highlights was the creation of the Children and Family Service Training Center here on the campus, who, with my friend, the chair of the Department of Social Work, Dr. Ken Dawes, established the training center. It is now a model all over the country, all a part of the Department of Social Work. The last 25 years, I retired from the state in 1997 and started to consult around the country in managing and funding child welfare systems, in tribal state relations, in university and state training partnerships. What I'm trying to say is there's all kinds of opportunities for you now that you have this credential. Doors are going to be opened, and the kinds of jobs have grown so tremendously since my time when I first began. So it's now in social services, behavioral health, addiction services, nursing homes, hospice programs, all kinds of different things, private agencies and is policymakers. So I want to congratulate all of you in your achievement today, Having that title after your name now, MSW, will offer many challenging and different opportunities, different jobs. What you maybe started out at, or maybe what you looked at when you were an intern or when you were doing your field placements, you're going to say, well, I kind of like to do that, but maybe I'd like to try something else. And those chances and opportunities will be there for you. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Don.
You bet.
I'm going to go off script for just a moment. As Don, the dean and Don were both talking, I was getting to look out and remembering nights where I had some very definite idea of what I was going to teach and a clear idea of what I understood, and would have you challenge me and screw up my lecture and take me in weird different directions. And now you're here telling me that you're nervous tonight. Where were you nervous during those classes when I was... thanks for all you taught me during those classes. I'd like to introduce the program directors, and then we'll begin with the program here. First of all, I've already mentioned her, but Professor Stephanie Homestead, if you would stand up. I think that many of you probably started around the time when Stephanie was taking over from Carol, so you're her first cohort that she's worked with all the way across throughout the program. Thanks for that work, Stephanie. Dr. Isaac Hikari, the MSW program director, is joining us online. He's traveling with his family, but taking time out to meet with us. Are we able to bring folks up, or how does that work on the screen? We had a big screen up here, but something went down with the system, so we've got a smaller screen. Hello, Isaac, there you are. Hello. And so some of you will be able to see some of these folks. With the big screen going down, though, we got to bring in some more light, which is nice. I'd also like to introduce Professor Barbara Kitko, BSSW Program Director. And Don, thanks for that note about the importance of the BSSW to our profession and to this process also. And then finally, I'm guessing at this point you've all been through field, so you probably know Professor Bruce Reeves, our field program director. Thanks, Bruce. So with that, we have two guest speakers, and rather than me jumping up and down, I'm going to leave the stage, but I'll introduce them first. Professor Vince Lindgren, you may remember Vince from a class or two. And then after that, Kevin Tangestal will be the student speaker. Wasn't surprised that it was going to be Kevin who's going to be your speaker. So I'm looking forward to hearing both of those folks. Vince, if you come on.
Welcome, graduates and family members and friends and faculty. When I was thinking about what I was going to say here this afternoon, one of the things that occurred to me is that the idea of a hooding is maybe has a lot of history to it and a lot of ceremony and so forth and so on. But really the reason that we're here is because we're so very proud of you. And that's brought us together. You're proud of yourself and your accomplishments that have brought you to this day, and you well should be. But we're all here to honor that and feel that pride with you and honor you for this day. So congratulations for such a great accomplishment. With that, I want to take you on a little bit of a journey here to think about where you've come from and where you're going in your future career. A number of years back, two social psychologists by the name of Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman developed a concept that they referred to as the planning fallacy. And the planning fallacy goes like this. Whenever you have any sort of major project, whether it be working on a master's degree or building some sort of building or whatever the case might be, that our tendency as humans is to underestimate how much it's going to cost in terms of time and money and effort and all of those sort of things, and to overestimate what the benefits are going to be of the project. And certainly for all of you, if you think back to when you started the MSW program, you probably had no idea at that point how much time, how much effort, how many hours you'd need to spend away from family and friends and so forth and so on to get to this day. So certainly that piece of the planning fallacy holds true in the case of working on a master's degree. But the thing I would argue to you does not fit in that whole concept is the idea that the end goal is somehow not going to be as shiny as you had imagined. And I want to just give you a little bit of background from my experience in my career to illustrate that to you. I started out my MSW program at the University of Washington in Seattle. And at that time, the state of Washington was doing what they called deinstitutionalization. They were taking folks out of the state mental health hospitals and putting them back into the communities. And they were having quite a bit of success with that transition process, but they realized that hey, there's still folks who need institutional care, who need a major intervention because they're a danger to themselves or others. And so one of the things that they did in 1979, which was the year that I started my MSW program, is they passed a law that created a position called the designated mental health professional. Now, the designated mental health professional was the only person in each county who could assess a person to put a 72-hour hold so that they would go into a inpatient program and get assessed and so forth and so on. And the whole idea was we want to make sure that they actually need to be held against their will. It's for their own safety or that of their community. And the interesting thing to me, I was just starting my MSW program at that time. And the interesting thing to me was I looked at what the requirements were for the job. You could either be a psychiatrist and be hired as a designated mental health professional, or you could be a PhD psychologist, or you could be a psychiatric nurse with 2 years of clinical experience working with seriously and persistently mentally ill, or you could have an MSW. And I thought to myself, gee, I didn't know that this was a profession that had that sort of sway, that had that sort of power. I obviously have chosen the right one because for me at that time, I hadn't come with an undergraduate in social work. I had mainly came to the MSW program because I worked with a number of social workers, and they said, oh, social work is where you want to be? And I went, oh, okay, that sounds good. So I showed up at the University of Washington in the fall of 1989, and there I was. But like you, I realized after going through the program, whoa, this was a lot more work and a lot more time, and geez, I was up long past midnight way too often to finish different sorts of papers and projects and so forth and so on. But one of the things that I found out was that having the MSW was an incredible ticket in terms of opening doors. And I just want to share a little bit with you what happened in my life. When I went to graduate school, I was thinking, gosh, I want to do something in clinical social work. That's kind of as far as I thought about it. And when I was in graduate school, I was exposed to some of the leaders in family therapy at the time, folks like Salvador Minuchin and gosh, I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. Lots of important people anyway. Carl Whitaker, that's who I was thinking of, and Virginia Satir. And I thought, gosh, this is exciting stuff. I want to do this. But in my graduate program, much like here was a generalist program, I had one family therapy class that was available to me. In my internship, I had a little bit of exposure to marriage and family therapy, but not a lot. But what happened was, at that time, there was a developing model in the state of Minnesota, because I came back to Minnesota after graduate school, and it was called Family-Based Services, and they were primarily doing in-home family therapy. I got hired in that program really on the basis of having an MSW. I didn't have a whole lot of background or study in working with families. But through that program, I was able to get the experience that I needed. I got tremendous amount of training. I was able to meet and train with Sal Minuchin and Carl Whitaker. It was just an amazing opportunity, and that happened because I had an MSW. They were willing to take a chance on me because of the revering that degree. So that was one opportunity. Another opportunity was, as happens a lot of times for folks who have their master's degree, is they get asked to be involved in supervision and then management. And those opportunities came for me as well. And again, didn't have the background, didn't have the training. I had to learn on the job, but got lots of support and was able to have a wonderful time being a mid-level manager for Lutheran Social Service of Minnesota. My wife said to me, she said, you know, it's just amazing since you became the manager. She says, you bounce out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're raring to go and you go the entire day. And for those of you who know me well, you know that I'm not the fount of energy and, you know, and so I'm kind of a laid back sort of person and stuff like that. But it was a wonderful opportunity, and again, I'm pretty sure I would not have gotten that opportunity without the MSW. The third piece is, of course, my career in academia. I've spent about half of my career in social work practice and the other half in academia. And again, the ticket in for my first job in academia at what's now, what is it called? Minnesota State University Moorhead. It was Moorhead State back when I was on faculty there. And of course, for the last 10 years or so, have been here at the University of North Dakota. And that's just been a wonderful opportunity that I would not have had without the MSW. So the reason I'm taking you on this little journey through my career is to let you know that the benefits, that the rewards are tremendous and unlimited, and they're in front of you right now. I know some of you have dreams about where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing. These 3 items that I was talking about, I really didn't see them in my future, but they were made possible because of this wonderful degree. And I want to let you know that it has been worth it to get to this point, that you will be reaping the benefits for years to come. And having had a number of you in class, I'm really confident that the future of the profession is in good hands. So welcome to the MSW Club. Okay.
I realized 2 things while I was sitting there. One was that every time I hear Vince talk, I learn something new. And he says he's a layback guy, but I don't know, it's always pretty intense what I learn from him. The other thing I realized was that I was being really lazy by just trying to pawn off the introduction of the next speaker at the beginning there. And so now I'd like to welcome to the stage Kevin Tangesdal as the chosen student speaker. Kevin?
Thank you, Bruce, for the introduction. Thank you, Vince, for those encouraging remarks. Fellow graduates, kith and kin, and distinguished faculty members, it's such a thrill to be here with you. I must say, though, that Julius the Gray is very sad that he could not join us. For those that don't know, that's my cat. I want to first thank our professors for helping me develop as a professional and as a person. I also want to thank my classmates for all those discussions where we were thinking critically about issues and traditions facing society today. It's such an honor to be graduating from one of the greatest universities in the country with such a stellar reputation for helping its graduates succeed as individuals, students, and as professionals. After our family of origin assignment last year, I've been reflecting on traditions, how they impact social work, and how my classmates have influenced me as an individual and as a professional. One of my all-time favorite musicals is Fiddler on the Roof. Tevye, the lead character and the father, he opens with, "A fiddler on the roof." Sounds crazy, no? But in our little village of Anatevka, you might say every one of us is a fiddler on the roof, just trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune without breaking his neck. It isn't easy, and you may ask, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? We stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance? That I can tell you, one word: tradition. Back in 2019, I was a fiddler on the roof, trying to keep my balance. You see, I was an unemployed graphic designer with over 20 years of experience, a year and a half of job hunting, and 185 some resumes across the country, and I was wondering, where is God going to take me? Well, the VA Voc Rehab issued a challenge, a career change. Now, I know I never had much of any plans for my 50s, but I'm quite sure career change would not have been on that list. So where do I go? What do I do? I trusted in confidants who knew my LGBT advocacy, my Bible college bachelor's degree, and my faith in Christ. And they recommended either ministry or social work. And I've never been able to imagine myself leading a church, but I've had positive experiences from social work, so could this be the next destination? Back to Fiddler. It's set in 1905 Imperial Russia with the czars persecuting the Jews, evicting them from their homes by oppressive pogroms. Graphic design, if you will, was my little Anatevka, and it seemed like I was being evicted from Anatevka. Now, I had traditions I could bring to the social work field, and so over 1,200 days ago, I zoomed in as a stranger in a strange land. You welcomed me in, you gave me a new home, and you introduced me to the traditions in social work. And our MSW program taught me deeper meanings of vested traditions, such as the pursuit of justice and ethics. Now, the Jewish families in Fiddler lived under oppression simply because of who they were. In the closing scenes is the charge, people who pass through Anatevka don't even know they've been here. Now, in our world, people falter in understanding others' life experiences by not stepping into their environments. My 2 internships embedded me in lived experiences with traditions I knew little about, but in time, I learned their value, and I began to see the many injustices oppressing the vulnerable in our communities. People see these injustices as, that's the way it's always been, and they say nothing about the oppressions. They feel they're not directly affected, and that in itself is a belief steeped in privilege instead of being a decent human. One thinks, doesn't concern me, so it's none of my business. But if you say nothing today and you did not fight for justice for others, then when you experience injustice one day, will anyone stand with you? Social justice is the tradition we must fight for in life and at work. We live next to each other rather than with one another. Now, we can view other people's problems as not our concerns, or we can embrace the tradition of standing up for others. Each day, injustice happens all around us, and expecting others to resolve their inequities is not enough. Our simple tune we're trying to scratch out in social work is to be there for others. Justice and ethics are those traditions to help us keep our balance. And we have learned the necessary skills to act for the marginalized. We fight because social work is our home. And how do we keep our balance? Tradition. Tevye reminds us, without traditions, we'd be shaky as a fiddler on the roof. I want to close with these sentimental words from Fiddler. Sunrise, sunset. One season following another, laden with happiness and tears. It is now time that we, graduates, we Control-Enter to get to the next page in our life. I want to, inside joke. I want to thank you for the memories, the lessons. Thank you for asking me to be your speaker. And do remember, take yourself off mute when justice calls. Tradition.
Do we get to learn about Control-Enter? Maybe later. So this brings us to the part of the program where we get to hood the graduates. What we'll do is I'll list the name, the title of your ISP. The ISPs are done, isn't that nice? Your name, title of the ISP, and your advisor. We'll have you come up on the stage here. Your advisor will hood you, and then you'll have to walk the gauntlet and shake each of our hands, and we'll congratulate you. So with that, if faculty would come up. And Stephanie, were we going to do this together? Very good. Some folks are here in the room. Some folks are available online. The graduates who are joining us online, we will virtually hood you, or your graduate or your advisor will virtually hood you. But we'll start now. Katie Andino, title of the ISP is How the Use of Attachment Theory Impacts Recidivism Rates Amongst Male Sexual Offenders, and your advisor was Shanna Urban. You'll be hooded today by Vince Lindgren. Yes, yes. Well, let's start right now. Do you want to hold on for a second here, Katie? And family and friends are welcome to take photos. Anyone who wants to can come on up and take photos. Our next graduate is Miranda Belsheim. Hello, Miranda. Hello. Nice to see you there. Hi. Title of her ISP, Trauma-Informed and Resilience-Focused Perinatal Care Within Indigenous Canadian Communities. Her advisor is, who's her? Karen Lee Barkdale is her advisor.
Congratulations, Miranda. Well done.
Nice to see you, Miranda. Thanks for joining. Nicole Burgoyne, Reducing Psychiatric Inpatient Readmission Rates. Your advisor is Professor Kakari. And yes. And Isaac is here for you. He will virtually do that, and Professor Humstead will there we go.
Yes, okay. Congrats, Nicole.
Mary Bird, Anxiety in Childhood Mitigation Tools and Practices to Increase Coping Skills and Mental Health Interventions in Educational Settings, and your advisor is Professor Karen Lee Barkdale. Jamie Doyle, utilizing behavioral health interventions to support patients with a desire to create lifestyle changes. Your advisor, Professor Bruce Reeves. Hi, Jamie. Colleen Erickson, Neurodiversity for Emergency Responders, and is Colleen with us online? Nope. All right. Her advisor, Jen Schlinger, so we'll still honor you. Colleen, you're not out there, but congratulations to Colleen. And is Jen with us? Hello, Jen. There's advisor, Professor Schlinger. Hello, Jen. Sarah Ferguson, Mental Health and Substance Abuse Call for Service Resource Chart for the law enforcement officers of Logan and Champaign counties, and her advisor, Craig Burns, and I think Professor Burns is with us online. Is that right? Is Sarah with us as well? All right. Hey, Craig. Congratulations to Sarah. Yes, go ahead. Anything to say? No? Okay. Hey, all right. And you're off mute. Nice job, very good. Aaron Friedhoff, Integrating Intellectual Disabilities into Social Work Education Standards, and Aaron's advisor is Professor Barkdale. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay Harris, Cultural Attachment and the Identity of Indigenous Peoples, Embedding Culturally Responsive Services in Social Work, and your advisor, Craig Burns. And Craig is with us online. Professor Homestead will hood you.
Lindsay, you made it. Good job.
I did it!
And Garrett Heim, is Garrett with us online? Isaac is his advisor. Garrett's ISP was Program Evaluation Quality Assurance Reviews. Hello, Professor Kakari, and honor Garrett here. Ms. Tori Johnson, over-medicating children in the foster care system, and your advisor, Stephanie Homestad.
Proud of you, girl.
Good. Aaron Landry, is Aaron with us online? He should be. Yes, of course. Hello, Aaron. Good afternoon. Aaron's ISP, Trauma-Informed Care in the Juvenile Justice System, a literature review study, and your advisor, Professor Jun Young Kim. Little virtual hooding there. Good to see you, Aaron. Pamela McIver Allen. Hi, Pam. Indigenous Youth Suicide in Canada, Decolonize Interventions to Promote Resilience, and your advisor, Professor Leah Sega. Aubrey Melnuri, Intimate Partner Violence Implications and the Benefits of Exercise, and your advisor, Jen Schlinger, is online. Professor Homestad, would you do the honors? Congratulations, Aubrey. Crystal Auden. Is Crystal online with us? Her ISP title, Long-Term Effects of COVID on the Geriatric Population, and her advisor, Professor Leah Saga. Okay, congratulations, Crystal. And Tyler, is Tyler with us? Tyler Overly? Yeah. Tyler's ISP, ACEs, Not Always a Winning Hand. Wow, that's a clever title. Huh? ACEs, Not Always a Winning Hand, a brief umbrella review of parentification and adverse childhood experiences and the role of culture from a systems perspective. And Professor Burns, we have them both online here. Hey, Tyler. Holly Papineau, a whole family approach for social and economic mobility. And Holly, your advisor, Professor Leah Saga. Wesley West Porter, rural veteran suicide reduction through outreach and counseling. And your advisor also, Leah. Hey, Wes. Wes was the first one I saw out in the hallway, and I thought, I know that guy from in town here somewhere. How do I know him? Amanda Radke, the risks and impacts of reentry into the foster care system, and your advisor, Professor Barbara Kitko. Hey, Amanda. And Barb, if you want to stay up here for a moment, we have Amelia Riccio Galdi, implementation of an evidence-based school-side prevention program, also advised by Professor Barbara Kitko. I don't know if, is Amanda online for us? We're hooding you and honoring you here either way. Very good. Thanks. And advised by Professor Bruce Reeves, Lisa Reinhardt, Youth Homelessness Best Practices Creating Programming and Services for Young Adult Youth Drop-In Center. Hello there. Hi, Lisa. And Casey Roselli, attachment theory used as a tool for social workers working with children of Eastern European adoption post-World War II. Again, Professor Leah Saga. Hi, Casey. Jordan Rudolph, Safe Space Program for LGBTQIA plus students, advised by Professor Stephanie Homestad. Hello, Jordan. Wearing her hood there. Samantha Taylor, Effective Deployments on Military Members and Their Families, advised by Craig Burns. Samantha with us? Craig's there. Hooding away. Thanks, Craig. Congratulations, Samantha. Jennifer Taylor, A Training Guide of Evidence-Based Practices for Schools Using a Trauma-Informed Approach, advised by Barbara Kitko. And we have Jen and family there at home, ready to do the honors. Go ahead. Ah, nicely done. Congratulations, Jennifer. Kevin, an integrative review of the literature examining affirmative psychotherapy with families of LGBT plus individuals, advised by Professor Bruce Reeves. Congratulations, Kevin. And Kelsey Terhar, Effects of Childhood Maltreatment on Psychosocial Development Among Female Emerging Adults, a Systemic Review Study, advised by Professor Junyoung Kim. Crystal Tofstad, The Effects of Mental Hygiene Curriculum on High School Students, advised by Barbara Kitko. Professor Barbara Kitko. Hi, Crystal. Amber Whelan, Development and Implementation of a Reentry Program in Rural Minnesota, advised by Professor Karen Lee Barkdale. Hi, Stephanie. We ready to do this? Stephanie Zucconi, Childhood Trauma and Its Lifelong Impacts on the Brain, Integrating Trauma-Informed Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, EMDR, and the Neurosequential Model of Therapeutics, advised by Professor Jen Schlinger online. Stephanie, if you'd come do the hood. Which brings us near to the end of our ceremony. I could try to come up with something clever to say for another 5 or 10 minutes, but instead of that, I'd like to try something that I saw at the RAIN traditional dinner. RAIN is recruiting American Indians into nursing and social work and nutrition and dietetics. And I saw them do something that I really liked, and I'm hoping that you would play along and try this. What I'd like to try for us to do is faculty, and Dean Sjogren, if I'm doing any of this wrong, you'll let me know. But or Lane, if I'm doing something wrong, yes. I'm going to ask that faculty and graduates kind of line up along the windows over here and intersperse. It doesn't have to be, we're colleagues now. So, and we're all wearing these funny gowns, so let's mingle along here. And then if you would, families and friends, if you would come along and, if you would come along and give us a chance to say hello and congratulations on the way. So with that, if everyone wearing a funny gown would line up along the windows over here.